What's up? Now, I know what you're thinking. Vince, what's with the cowboy hat and the sunglasses? And what the hell is this outfit? Why are you wearing that? I don't know exactly why I'm wearing that, but let me tell you something. That State of the Union address has got me feeling so ridiculously, insanely, epically patriotic that, you know what? It just feels right. I mean, 2 nights ago, President Trump delivered what has to have been probably the best State of his Union in his whole presidency. I don't know, last year's was pretty good too. But this year, I would say probably the best State of the Union in his presidency. But honestly, one of the best State of the Unions, like, as far as dating back to Bush, Clinton, Reagan. I mean, it's one of the best State of the Union addresses in modern history. Never before has a single political speech been able to strike so many prideful emotions to me. I was moved to tears when they talked about the assassination of al-Baghdadi and the poor girl who was killed by ISIS. I was brought to just roaring pride when President Trump came out and the first thing he said was, we have experienced 3 years ago, we embarked on a great American comeback. I was just like, hell yeah, but listen. Okay. And for hours and hours, I was puzzled. Like, how exactly do I explain how I felt about that State of the Union address? Until I found it.
President Trump just got done delivering the best damn State of the Union address I've ever heard in 47 damn years. It was freaking awesome. And look at this crazy lady. She's tearing his speech up. She represents California, the most powerful Democrat in the country, and this is what she does for you. She embarrasses you in front of the entire country. That speech had words in it like awesome economy. That speech was talking about a soldier that was just brought home to reunite with his family live during the State of the Union address, and she tears it in half because she has no respect for this country. She hates this country, and every one of you Democrats better take notice as to what that crazy lady did.
That guy, let me tell you, that guy is my spirit animal. And you know what they say about your heroes? Don't meet your heroes, but always imitate them. I don't know who said that, but I just wanted an excuse to do this.
It was freaking awesome. And look at this crazy lady. She's tearing his speech up. She represents California, the most powerful Democrat in the country, and this is what she does for you. She embarrasses you in front of the entire country.
But in all seriousness, that speech was freaking amazing. But let me tell you something. It was quite an easy speech to make for Trump. Why? Because the country itself is in an amazing place. It's not hard to make a great State of the Union when the State of the Union itself is truly strong. But, you know, the best part, I thought, was not the speech itself. Okay, the speech itself, let me tell you, was an amazing speech. One of the greatest speeches probably in recent American history. But on top of that, okay, the Democrats' reaction to what should be bipartisan things. Now, I get it. I totally get it, right? They don't agree with some of President Trump's policies. They don't agree with this. They don't agree with that. They're liberals. We're conservatives. Okay, I get that. But it struck me in the very beginning of the speech, President Trump touted things that you would think are bipartisan for the country. And there's no reason. Let me tell you, absolutely not one single justifiable reason as to why they shouldn't be bipartisan. The economy, okay? He was talking about the economy. He was talking about, I'm gonna list by name Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats scowled at when President Trump mentioned him. Okay, by name. You ready? Record low unemployment, a roaring stock market and economy. Okay, but here are the important ones. All right, record low black unemployment and poverty. President Trump mentioned that by name. What did Democrats do? Scowled, sat down, didn't applaud. Every single Republican in the House stood up. Okay, stood up on their feet, clapping their butts off. Not one single Democrat. Nancy Pelosi sat on her hands. The whole Democratic side of the aisle sat on their hands for not like the wall or some partisan issue, for record low black unemployment and poverty. Really, for the party that constantly calls us racist, you can't applaud something that is as uniting and as good as record low black, not just black, by the way. He also mentioned Latinos, Asians, record low minority unemployment. For the party that claims to care so much about the working class and workers, a blue-collar boom mentioned by President Trump. Now, I get it. Okay, liberals often claim, oh, it's Obama's fault. I can strongly disagree. I can explain to you why that's wrong. But regardless of who created, as an American, as a politician, as a servant of the American people, That is something to be applauded. And for the sake of this, I don't care who started it, okay? You should still be applauding, okay? If by the way, if you claim that Obama's the reason we have record low black unemployment, then why don't you applaud record low black unemployment? And for the people who say, oh, well, the people are working, but they're not getting a working wage. Yeah, well, wages are rising at unprecedented levels that were never expected by any expert in the Trump presidency, okay? So, really, there is no excuse. There is no excuse, okay? It's quite simple. Really, it is quite simple. Democrats hate America, okay? They really do. There frankly is no other excuse for it, okay? And again, I get it. There are partisan issues that the president mentioned last night. I don't expect Democrats, if they disagree with the policy, to be stand up and cheering the proposal of that policy. But objective low unemployment for minorities, blue-collar workers, all people is an objectively good thing for the country, okay? There's not one single justifiable reason why not to applaud for that, unless you hate this country and you hate its people, okay? Unprecedented levels of rising wages. Again, an objectively good metric for this country. The only reason why someone would sit on their hands for that is if they hate this country and they hate its people, and that's exactly true of the Democratic Party, okay? Both parties are supposed to be able to stand up for things that the country can unite on. If we as Republicans and Democrats cannot unite on the fact that rising wages are good, record low poverty is good, record low unemployment is good, a roaring U.S. economy is good, then there is no hope for bipartisanship. Frankly, we only have half of a country. If the other half of the country can't even freaking agree that that's a good thing, we don't have a country left. There's no hope for bipartisanship. Like, America is supposed to be a country where whatever your policies are, whatever you believe are the best policies, you should be able to unite on things like record low unemployment and rising wages are a good thing. And you should be able to unite on the fact that if there is record low unemployment and rising wages in the country, that is a good thing, and that should be applauded. Democrats are unable to accept the fact that those are good things. Why? Because, again, they're radical far leftists that hate this country, hate its people, and hate every single foundation that this nation stands on, okay? They couldn't even cheer for a young African-American fourth grade girl winning a scholarship. Take a look at this.
The next step forward in building an inclusive society is making sure that every young American gets a great education. I can proudly announce tonight that an Opportunity Scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice.
And not to mention Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech. I mean, honestly, I have no idea what to say other than, well...
And look at this crazy lady! She's tearing this speech up! She represents California!
Imagine being the party running off of the agenda that, well, President Trump is unstable and crazy and chaotic, and we are the sane people, we are the adults in the room. Imagine being a party that runs off of that message and that agenda, and then having seriously, unironically, and undisputably, by the way, putting their hatred for Trump above their love for their country and its people, okay? Record low minority poverty, millions of people being lifted off food stamps and welfare. Well, that's okay and all, but at the end of the day, you know what? Orange man bad, and that's more important. How can you do that and try to unironically claim that you're the party running off of sanity and common sense and ending the Trump divisiveness? Yeah, BS. I call utter BS. I hope the American people will too. All right, that's going to be all for today, folks. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at @TheVinceDao. Link is in my bio. And if you support a young conservative like me, trying to stand up for himself in the People's Republic of California, trying to get his message out there, trying to convince his fellow generation that conservatism is the way of the future, consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is in my bio, okay? But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And my final message here, my closing words are, Mitt Romney's a Democrat. Thanks, guys. See you guys later.